Logan, have you ever considered that trees are just ground fingers?
So, grass would just be ground hair?
So that would make cows ground beef.
What?
Who said that?
It is I, the all-powerful and knowing star brown fish.
Oh yeah? The one am I thinking of right now?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Shit, Sam, this guy's good.
Oh yeah? If you're all powerful, then you should be able to do a kick-ass Beavis and Butthead impression.
Okay. Hey, baby. You want to see my thingy?
Whoa! He is powerful!
Wait till you see my wiener.
Hello and welcome to Podcast Away. I'm your host, Logan.
I'm your host, Sam.
And I'm Jake Blank. I'm sure you've heard me in a previous episode.
Yes.
Censored.
Yes.
I'm revealing myself now in multiple ways. You just can't see it.
It's crazy.
Right.
So how you doing today, Jake? Welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm good. I was excited for this, actually. Like, I was pretty hyped because I thought podcasts were pretty cool. And I was like, oh, yeah, I want to come down here, maybe have a drink, chill, and, you know, talk about random shit. And it sounds awesome. I'd listen to your shit all the time. So
Fantastic to have you as one of our, I guess, arguably biggest fans.
That, yeah.
I mean, it's not hard to be our biggest fan, honestly.
I mean, if you're following, it's about 12. Yeah.
Yes. But you know what? Damn it, I prefer it that way. All right.
Your ratio of big fans to regular fans is a lot higher.
Exactly.
Keep your crowd small.
Exactly. Keep your circles small, right? So then all of your fans are your biggest fans.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
So yeah, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, for sure. I drove like an hour for it, but it's totally worth it already. I'm chilling. I enjoy it. Also, question, why did we have to do it in the dark? I'm just wondering.
Well, the light that we have right now is kind of intense. We can always turn it on.
No. I just thought there was a reason, so I just saw it. But yeah.
No, usually we have like a nice like purple light staring down at us too. But we decided since we're having a guest, we should probably clean up our act a little bit, you know, tuck in our shirts and everything. So
Now we got this
You know you're not
fancy
supposed
table.
to tuck it into your underwear, right, Sam?
yeah.
No.
Sam forgot the memo they're supposed to wear pants.
Oh, shit. Oh,
I'm only wearing underwear and a shirt.
Yeah.
And the shirt's tucked into the underwear.
And the underwear is on your head, so there's a lot of problems here.
Like I said, professionalism
Yeah.
is like number one.
You guys are working on it. I think
Yeah.
there's some room to wiggle here.
We're getting there.
When people think about Podcast Away, the first thing they think of, oh, that professional podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the
Absolutely.
animation. It's so professional.
Really, I mean, you know,
And the voice acting is on it's just on par with everything else.
True.
everything else, yeah.
So, besides my favorite subject, which is us, what would you like to talk about today?
Well, honestly, I know Sam doesn't. You know, he gives half a damn. He gives like a quarter, maybe a half a damn about hockey.
Wait,
That's one of my-
let's before we get any further, let's preface like our friendship.
Okay.
Like you are not just like a homeless man we
I
picked
think
off
that's
the
a good
street.
idea.
Oh no, yeah.
Jake-
Who the hell are
isn't
you,
just
Jake
some
Blake?
random feller.
So I even told Logan earlier that literally me and Sam have probably high-fived while we were in the womb because his mother was friends with my mother while they were pregnant.
Can
and anytime
confirm.
they hugged, I guarantee we just through
like,
the
yo,
womb.
what up?
Yeah, high five through the womb. So we've literally been best friends like forever.
Legitimately been.
I knew you back whenever we went to church, and like I knew you when we went
Yep.
back to church, and yeah, all three of us go back a long time actually.
Yeah, it's funny how many people I used to meet at like church camp and church itself too that I
Right.
still see and talk to on a regular
Even though I
basis.
really don't give a damn about church, but
Yeah,
personally,
yeah. No, there's a fleeting interest in churches these
probably
days.
because we were introduced to it at such a young age. But
Yeah,
yeah.
that is true. So yeah, so that's a little bit of who you are and how you relate to us. There's a little
Right.
bit of nepotism on this podcast. I don't usually invite strangers at all. We like to have our friends
Have
on.
people that
Yeah.
you know.
either a friend or like relative, something along those lines.
Yeah,
Right.
but here's the thing. Even Pawn Stars are jealous about how many experts I have on this show. Every fucking person we've had on the show has been an expert on like 4 topics, at least.
At least.
At least.
Nice.
And Jake, you are an expert on hockey.
I try to be. I just recently got into it, but I've I've delved into it pretty deep, like more than net deep.
So let's talk about that for a little bit, because I've been to one hockey game and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right?
It was Blues versus Winnipeg, so it was the Canadians.
Yeah.
I unfortunately have not been to a hockey game. I do enjoy the sport to an extent. I don't really follow it because I don't really follow any sports.
Yeah, we should definitely go. But listen, this game I went to, I've been to one. I don't know why I haven't been to one since, because it's such a fucking awesome time. The game was so close, and like the intense competition, like the blood was boiling, that the entire team, not one or two guys, the entire teams got into this giant fist fight.
So there's
people just like skating around, just sucker punching each other in this big like cafeteria style.
You saw that
brawl.
shit live?
I saw it live.
Oh man,
the refs.
That's how hockey's supposed to go.
Yeah,
the refs would like skate up to the giant fight of people throwing hands at each other, and then
just
they'd stay like exactly they'd stand like 15 feet back, like we're not gonna do nothing.
Well, you know how that works, right?
Tell me.
They can fight until like obviously unless they're like ripping off their skate and like cutting each other's throat with it, which that never happens. To my knowledge,
didn't a famous hockey player get their throat?
Well, it was a goalie got their throat cut because they fell, and like one of the people in front of him fell, and like his skate flew up and hit him in the neck, which is why they have neck guards now. And like,
didn't that motherfucker get stitched up and then
it was
back into the game?
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks later he was back. No, it wasn't the same day. It was like 2 weeks later. He was like back into hockey or something, and it's funny. It was one of the Blues players actually. It was Blues against someone else, like way back in the day. Like I forgot when. It was like just as soon as the goalies got face masks, because they used to not have face masks.
I didn't even
goalies
know that.
used to have.
They just had like little like plastic masks.
No, but before that they didn't wear anything.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no. If you look up like the one time the Bruins and the Blues were in the playoffs together before, how this was like a big thing this year, how the Blues won the Stanley Cup and like the Bruins were like a big deal, and like I watched a video and like the game-winning goal with Bobby Orr, I fucking hated watching it. All the Bruins fans kept showing it to me, but I saw behind him like the goalie was just didn't have any face mask or anything. I'm like, these guys have balls of fucking steel and copper and iron mixed together.
They have
that puck,
and they have no teeth left because of the puck.
no teeth. Yeah, no, it's a pretty brutal sport, and that's why I can appreciate it. And honestly, the fast-paced, the technicality, people always think that it's just like, oh yeah, you're just pushing a puck around, but that shit's not easy.
Have you seen a game of hockey?
Oh my god,
it's so fucking hard.
It's
super intense,
dude. Like,
and you can't just run around. You got to skate around. That's like extra level of like.
I tried
hardness.
ice skating once, and I looked like a newborn baby calf, like with 4 broken legs. Like I seriously, it was not easy.
So does hockey have like the NASCAR syndrome, to where most people watch and they're kind of like just waiting to see the car wreck? Like, do people like to watch? Like, I would say a majority. Let's say a large part.
There's a group of that. There's a group of that people who like they watch for the game, but they really want to watch for like the fights and the hits and stuff. And that is a part of it. But I personally feel like once you understand the game more, like offsides, icing, what the penalties are, hand passes, shit like that, which hand passes are illegal, but if anyone watched the Stanley Cup playoffs in this podcast, it fucking happened, and it won a game against us. I don't know if you guys
really?
saw that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was a hand pass it was like OT, and if you know OT, like
I don't know.
You don't
sorry.
know. No. That's why we're talking about it. OT, like it's not like until the end of 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes, 3 people per team on ice instead of 5.
OT stands for overtime.
Overtime.
Okay,
yes.
Cool.
But in playoffs, it's 5-on-5. So it was just an extra period basically. But the first person to get the next goal won. So it's like that's like high intensity shit.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not like, but no, it was. The final goal, the game-winning goal, we were going up against, it was Game 3 against the San Jose Sharks. And Meyer from the San Jose Sharks, you can grab the puck out of air and drop it on the ground and start playing it. But what you can't do is if it's coming at you, you can't do this and hand pass it to somebody else to play.
Okay.
And he did that. And he, they say it wasn't intentional, but for all intents and purposes, it was a hand pass. And the refs didn't call it. It was a game-winning goal.
It shouldn't matter if it was intentional or not.
Right. So it was a hand pass, but they just let it go. It was a game win.
Wow.
And they were pissed about it. Yeah.
So I've always been on this side of people too, that I personally want to see like gladiatorial arenas come back.
Yes.
Like if I can get people consensual, of course, unlike the Roman
gladiatorial
gladiatorial
arena.
arena.
UFC is the closest to it we have.
Yeah,
right now.
UFC, because a lot of people like UFC. They like seeing that because I mean, you can act like people don't like violence all you want, but you're just lying to yourself. People like, I see it on Facebook, people sharing like live leak level stuff of like people getting beheaded and horses blowing up and car crashes. Like, people have this weird innate desire to see violence.
It's because they don't see it every day.
Because it's fucking cool, yo.
You say that, but even like the Romans, like the Colosseum was like the pinnacle of like their culture,
their entertainment.
Yeah, their entertainment.
Yeah,
and I think it'd be cool to kind of bring back something like that with consensual people, obviously.
Well, yeah,
but you know, they kind of like brawl to the death. I think that would be fun and cool.
I think we should work it into the prison system. Like have prisoners be able to fight.
If you
to get,
win,
like,
you can get out.
No, not necessarily that, but like if you continuously win, you can get like better shit for your cell.
Commission.
You know, yeah,
Get
like,
a raise,
get better like
yeah.
items. You get like TV and shit. Get internet, whatever. Get a better bed.
Right.
All
Instead
that
of
good
getting the
shit.
off-brand Oreos, you get actual fucking Oreos. Like
Right.
You can you can throw the worst of the worst in there as like just fodder. Like throw rapists and pedophiles and shit in there as fodder,
So
and they can
people
just
death
get
row
fucked
or
up.
who should
in
be
there.
on death row.
Yeah, people who are either in there for life, just so that like, because one thing that's going to generate revenue. Two, another thing is it's going to clear out some prisons.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
True.
So
It's a weird solution that solves a lot of issues and creates a lot of good things too. Because I'm looking at you, libertarians. You got to pay a lot of taxes, roads. So you know how many roads are gonna be built on fucking arena money? And not only that, you got to clean out the prison system, right? Schools,
and then they can stop
for some
arresting
reason.
people for having a gram of weed in their pocket. I'm tired of that shit.
What if you get arrested and you're just like, you know what? Fuck it. It's a gram. I want to go to the arena. And the cops are like, what?
Right, yeah. Someone who really wants to die is just going to do a bunch of cocaine and drive. And he's like, oh, yeah, am I going to the prison with the with the arena in it? Like,
so, you know, like army recruiters, right? Imagine like arena recruiters going after people who post like the suicidal memes, like, I want to die memes, you know? And it's like, hi, I heard you want to die. Are you interested in this proposal?
Are you talking? I just imagine that one meme with the Grim Reaper. He's like, you posted that fuck my life, I want to die. Now time to show that same energy, fam.
here's your sword and your helmet. And your
You want light armor or heavy armor?
Yeah, exactly.
See, I could get behind this 100%. Like, that would be so awesome.
Well, sure, yeah. I think people are lying to themselves if they want to say that there's not an audience for that, right? Because people love that pushing the boundary kind of entertainment,
Right.
Yeah. And it's something that people will say that like, oh, that was an animalistic time that we had and participated. But I just don't think you're being open-minded enough. A lot of people had fun.
Look, it's like one of those, if you try it once, just try it once.
If everybody's consenting to it, then what the hell's the problem?
Right. I want to see, like, before the game, if they want, like, documented, like, here's the signatures. If you guys are really fucking worried about it, now let them just kill each other.
See, that's why we should be able to have, like, duels in the street, too, and fist fights. Like, I should be able to fist fight somebody. If we both consent to a fist fight, I should be able to fist fight a person without getting in trouble from the cops.
It should be Wild West times, where if you want to do, like, a gun duel,
yeah.
like,
You're just
if
like,
you both,
hey,
like...
let's go fucking out in the street. We're going to duel. Let's go do this
As long as
thing
there's
right
no
now.
other casualties other than you two.
As long as both parties have consent, I don't see what the fuck the issue is.
How better do you think society would be if we could have like consensual fist fighting and dueling?
Everything would be so much better because everything would get solved one way or another.
Your old asshole boss has to duel
And
people
there'd be
like twice a week.
Bro, I would totally duel some of my old bosses.
Can you imagine that? Like you're just you're a pushover boss, you know, and you just bully kids all day long to make yourself feel better, and then you're just constantly having to shoot down your employees from duels.
Jesus.
You just have like a badass.
You didn't do the
fucking-
dishes right tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Just have these two
Take 3 steps.
badass black revolvers that got like gilded shit on them. They got like carvings in them for every kill that you got.
Right.
Now here's the
And
thing.
you're the manager at a Domino's.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. So here's the thing: would that kind of society create bad people who are also really, really proficient at killing people who challenge them? Or do you think like the average person would be able to take down? Because think about it, right? If you're dueling more, if you're an asshole, right, in this society, you're having to probably duel more because you're pissing enough people off to where that 1% of people you piss off, like, you know what, motherfucker, I'm gonna see you at noon. high noon. And if you're continuing being an asshole, you're surviving these duels, therefore more experience. So would that create like a weird society to where like the asshole society are not only assholes,
till
they're like super soldiers
Till somebody pulls a gun on you early.
Yeah, I guess, or they just happen to outduel.
Well, that would turn into an eat or be eaten sort of worldly situation. I feel like.
Have you guys seen the Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
Yes, I
Wild West
fucking
movie?
love that movie.
Is that a show? A movie?
No, it's a movie where it's what are those?
It's an anthology film.
Thank you.
It's a collection of Wild West stories, and
Oh, shit.
some of them are kind of goofy and funny, and then other ones are really serious and kind of gritty. But it is a excellent movie. Like, I was not expecting to like it because I heard a lot of bad things about it. Fucking loved it.
The reason why I'm bringing it up is because one of the first stories you watch is the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, who was one of the best duelers in the West, and it fortifies the fact of him being a solid dueler. And the end of it, it shows like the passing the baton and the constant like new challenges, and he faces somebody that's just better than him, and he's been reinforced with the fact that I'm the best, there's no one who can beat me, and then he gets bested and dies. So is it that kind of society, you think?
Yeah, I long for those times, man. I just started playing Red Dead 2 again.
Yes.
Oh yeah, do you guys want to talk about Red Dead a little bit?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That's one of the greatest storylines, I think, of all time.
I will
Personally.
say, I had very, very high hopes for Red Dead Redemption 2, and it met every single expectation in the story mode.
Online? Not so
Online,
much.
yeah, I was gonna say the online I could give a shit less about right
Yeah.
now, but the story met every expectation and then some.
Yeah. It actually got me emotionally involved, which was actually different for me. I don't even cry at movies. And I didn't cry, but I felt
You're just
something
like, God
whenever
damn it.
whenever I'm not gonna spoil it, but whenever certain things happen.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with the change in movie culture too, to kind of go towards the television series rather than individual movies. That's why movies like longer and longer now too, like 3.5 hour movies.
Yeah, for real.
If when you have like TV shows, like multiple episodes that are each like 40 minutes, whatever, 2 episodes is a movie basically. You can really get to know the characters and stuff. That's a lot harder to do in a movie. Well, a video game, you can arguably put in even more time because there's more stuff to do rather than just blasting through the main quests. And you can spend even more time, right? So it's like the amount of time you can spend with the characters can increase the amount that you're attached to them.
Yeah. For example, you can wander out into the bayou and get raped by an old creepy dude.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
He lures you in with like a hot meal or something, and then he like hits you over the head.
You walk
Bitch, I
in, you
got a
get
quick
smacked over
fish
the head.
in my satchel. I'm not gonna come up to you.
Exactly.
You wake up and your
Exactly.
bum's a little sore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
And this, of course, is painting how brutal and savage the end of the Wild West era was.
I actually didn't get to do that mission.
It was just it wasn't even a mission, just a random encounter. You just had to be in the
like
right
a stranger
place.
mission sort of thing. I never got to it. Also, can we talk about how Gavin was never found? Are we gonna ignore his existence? Like,
Oh yeah, he never gets found.
I don't
He's
think he
just
exists. I think the dude might be
I'm
crazy.
pretty sure he died
Oh.
like way early on.
Oh.
Like I'm pretty sure I think I read into it and I think something said like he ended up dying or some shit like way early on, like one of the first times you meet him. It's like the first or second time that you see the guy. Gavin's already dead.
Oh shit, that's dark.
I don't remember how somebody found out about it, but I think I was reading something. It was a long ass time ago that I read it. But,
I think
take it with a grain of salt.
the reason why I like Red Dead Redemption 2 as like a storyteller angle too is because there's been, I think for 10 years now, probably like a shift from like goody two shoes, all good characters to like kind of like darker, more like anti-hero protagonists. Like protagonists who have like a darker side. Cause I think that's a little bit more realistic. And I think personally it's a bit easier to relate to. Like I would have trouble relating to like a Mary Sue of like, oh, I'm perfect in every way kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's easier to relate to people like, well, I got flaws too, and so do they, but they can still do good things.
Right, yeah.
And,
you can change your life in the middle of like the story. And
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. And Arthur Morgan, the main character.
Substance.
Yeah, the main
Yeah.
character in the game. Yeah, it's more conflict too, right?
Yeah.
And he's introduced as somebody who is not a good person at all. Like he is a Wild West robber, thief, murderer type. He's a vagabond. That's who he is.
What's interesting to me is like sometimes like whenever I was playing through it, like I got really like invested in it. Like I told my girlfriend once, I was like, I'm gonna stay up late tonight because I was so close to the end, and I'm gonna finish this game tonight. Like I just had to. There's no other choice. But like there's sometimes I'm just like, I made him out to be a good person in my head because once a specific thing that happened to him was brought up, I was like, okay, he's going to turn his life around. He's going to start doing good things. And I just started doing that. And then he always reminded me of all the fucked up shit he did. I'm like, damn, like he's actually like if you compare everything that he used to do, like all the people he's killed, all the trains he's robbed, he's actually a really shitty person.
Yeah,
but he has a good heart. Like,
and believe it or not even the worst person in the gang.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd probably leave that to Micah.
Yeah.
He's a very tormented character because he is like two conflicting personalities, which is technically the player. The player is conflicting personality because you can make him do whatever you want, kind of thing. Where that's the kind of conflict of the story too. But
to a degree,
to the actual canon of the game, he was an awful, terrible person because that's how he was raised. And that brings up a different argument of like your environment, and then he has things happen to him in his life that changes his opinion. He tries. I think like the second and third act is him like trying to clean his slate of his past
Could
sins.
say he's trying to find his redemption.
Yeah. Aha! Yeah, exactly. And I think I think that people love seeing these characters. Like, people love a good story, right? And people love these characters that are complicated and go through these big character arcs. And sometimes people, even for fun, like seeing characters that are the opposite of what they should be rooting for, i.e. like Deadpool kind of thing, where the character is outwardly bad and is very proud and happy and not changing anytime soon. And it's just the fun of like, you know what? What if I was bad and just did not give a single shit about it and yet just did what I want? And that's the kind of like power fantasy too that is introduced with these kind of movies.
Truth, yeah.
Because I personally, I love the power fantasy. I love playing the big strategy games. I get to be a king and have my armies and everything and balance taxes. Like stuff. I love a good power fantasy. Like, I think pretty much any man, honestly.
Yeah, see, Risk is a great game.
Exactly, like
Especially
Risk.
that Europe edition that you got, because I was just taxing the shit out of all my nations and buying hella military shit, kind of like how America does.
Exactly. You see, to keep up on that military-industrial complex of the
Risk
the medieval century.
Risk is all about the military-industrial complex.
Yeah. So you think Monopoly teaches you more about the economy? Fucking no.
You use that money to buy tanks.
It's medieval Risk Europe that will teach you, because you have two options pretty much. You can like tax or spend, right? And you just sit there the whole fucking game. You just tax and tax and tax and tax until your people are literally living on dirt roads. And you're like, you know what? Now that you're here and you got no money, you should come join my army.
Also, I'm putting a castle in your town.
Also, I need you to just burn down your village huts because I need a new castle. Exactly. And that'll teach you more of the economy. What's your guys' favorite board game?
Oof. Man. There's a lot of angles to that question, because favorite as in favorite to play or favorite to fuck people up in, because Uno is a good one to fuck people up in.
That's a card game.
Oh yeah, true. I was thinking of games.
Talking about like board game.
Board game? I don't know. Monopoly's a good one, but it's long. It's a really long one.
Candyland's pretty fucking dope.
Shoots and Ladders was a good OG.
Straight up.
Just saying, I haven't played Shoots and Ladders since I don't know how long. Life was a good one. Life was a great one.
Operation's dope. Operation was fucking
Would that be
awesome.
considered a board game?
Hell yeah. It's a board.
Yeah,
It's an electronic board.
But it's a board, is it not?
Dude, you're making me bored. I'm just
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck between like Risk and have you guys ever played Zombicide?
No.
Zombicide's really cool too. You got like little miniatures and stuff, and there's like modern and like medieval version. You get to like slay zombies and stuff, and that game's fun because you get to like
board game.
Yeah, you get to like work as like a team and stuff, and move your little miniatures around. That one's really fun too. Oh yeah. Yeah, my friend Sean's like a pro at it. He's the one he's my board game friend. He knows all the good ones. He's a genius.
Would we consider Battleship a board game?
Ooh, that might
Battleship's pretty dope.
That's a great one.
That's a classic.
I'm just saying, if Operation's considered a board game, that's considered a board game.
I'm fine with that because
I consider Battleship a board game. What else would it be? It's not a fucking card game,
right? No, you're right. I think Battleship would probably be my top.
What about board card combos like playing Joker? If you guys have ever played that, it's kind of like. It's pretty much exactly like Sorry, but it's like what Sorry is based off of.
Oh, okay.
You just move marbles around a fucking board, and you got cards that you play that move you a set amount of spaces and do certain shit.
Gotcha. I think I might have heard of it, but
that cribbage is pretty good.
Speaking of the Joker, are you guys excited about the new Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie?
Hell yes. He's gonna say we live in a society. He confirmed it.
Listen, I saw a post today. I don't know if there's any like rock behind it and actual evidence, but it's supposed to be rated R.
I hope so.
For some reason.
No, I'm just gonna come out to you guys and say it. Like other than like the original Spider-Man movies, like superhero movies, really aren't my ish. I'm not even gonna lie.
Fair enough.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Well, I mean, to be fair, all of DC's movies that they've released since the Batman trilogy with Christian Bale, I think his name is, have sucked. Literally every single movie that they've released.
Deadpool is an exception as well. Deadpool's always been great.
No, I'm saying DC. Like Marvel's had some fantastic movies. Like they've had pretty much nothing but great movies. DC hasn't released a fucking good movie since, except for their animated shit. Their animated shit's great.
Okay, I have a poll for us right now.
Okay,
Tobey Maguire or not Tobey Maguire?
I like Tobey Maguire.
I fucking hate both of you.
I like Tobey Maguire.
Oh, I thought you said not Tobey Maguire.
No,
okay,
not Tobey Maguire.
No, Tobey Maguire is fucking awesome, and Sam can be kicked off.
Because you guys have a nostalgia boner.
I don't give a shit what kind of.
Damn it, Sam! He says pizza time.
He's a horrible Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I love him.
Oh yeah. What about Andrew Garfield? Huh?
He was kind of like a meth head, but he was a good Spider-Man. Really shitty Peter Parker.
Nah. So, what do you think about Sony fucking up Disney with like keeping the rights to Spider-Man because he couldn't reach like a proper deal over him?
I don't know. I think the whole movie company becomes a monopoly and really fucks with the actual quality of the movies.
And I'll agree with you because people are really pissed about it, right? Like, don't mess with my Marvel movies, damn it! I understand that. You guys have your Marvel movies. I can still think they're bad.
Well, I feel like that's equivalent to like. What was it? Bungie being bought out by Microsoft, or Halo being bought out by Microsoft?
Don't bring it up, bro.
That is still a sore subject.
It's a source. I know it happened like 12 years ago. It's a sore subject.
But the thing is, like, Halo was transferred to a different company. This is stuff like they're buying the companies and then just like
integrating it
in.
Like, you ever play Agario? Disney is like the biggest like blob
they are the biggest dot.
And they're just eating all the other dots. That's what it is. Yeah, I was actually When I heard about Sony like fucking over Disney, people are posting like, "Why didn't Sony take it? They could get, a lot more money if they just took the deal." I'm like, that's not the point. That is not the point. They're actually just doing it just because they're so fucking sour about Disney controlling everything. Mm-hmm. And at this point, I am on the boat of whatever to fuck with Disney would be fine. Because I saw somebody post about like, oh, there's an intense rivalry between the new Spider-Man and the new Lion King, and it sucks that this original content gets trampled by a rehash that's even worse than the original. But the thing is,
remake.
No, even the worst thing is, both movies are by fucking Disney. There is no competition. It's like saying which of these, like, it sucks that, Pepsi and Mountain Dew are competing. They're both owned by PepsiCo, damn it. There's no competition.
That being said, the new Spider-Man movies are incredibly better than the other ones.
I haven't even seen them, honestly. So maybe I'm not in a good enough position to judge what's the best Spider-Man.
I've only seen bits and pieces of the ones, but what I have seen is just like it's so much better.
You know what I want to try because I haven't gotten to try it yet? The new Spider-Man game.
Crack.
I heard it's great. Crack.
Oh no, the Spider-Man game?
Yeah.
No, I got to play. I got to play a bit.
No idea. I haven't played it.
I got to play a little bit, and it is fucking excellent.
Really?
Again, only a little bit.
Is it true Spider-Man goes homeless in the middle of the game?
I have no idea.
Oh,
like I said, I played like a fight.
You know what's interesting, nostalgic wise, is do you guys remember the PS1 Spider-Man where every single thug looked the same
and everything's narrated by Stan Lee?
Yeah.
Yes. Dude, I played that on N64 though, like a true OG.
Oh shit. Yeah, no, I played it on PS1.
Is that the one where like the city streets were filled with like green gas?
Yeah, and you're just swinging on nothing.
Yeah. And they did that because like they couldn't render like the rest of it. It's like, fuck it, the Green Goblin has gas everywhere, therefore we don't have to render anything.
Right.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I think one of the hardest levels on that motherfucker was the back then anyway, was either not counting the last one with Symbiote Ock. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Roy, no!
Oh, yeah.
Like creepy-ass voice and shit.
That was a good impression.
Yeah, I did that a lot, and I scared the fuck out of my brother with it. No, other than that, the Rhino level really fucked me.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I always had an issue with Scorpion, I think it was.
Scorpion? I mean, you just run around a little bit, and you just kind of, I don't know.
And the bank level always pissed me the fuck off.
I think I prefer the big gray Rhino outfit to like the robotic suit.
I liked the black and white one just because it gave you unlimited web.
Man, I'm still in my element. I haven't played this game.
You remember Eel Nats? Eel Nats was the unlock everything cheat code. Stan Lee backwards.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know what else?
I miss cheat codes, man.
Dude, I was just thinking the same thing. Like, I feel like they should be an option in like all the new games. Like, just in I get.
Why would they give you cheat codes when they can just release that later as a DLC and make you pay $10? We've talked about this in a previous episode. DLCs are just scams that people buy into. That's why they keep happening.
Yeah. Oh yeah, microtransactions and all that. Yeah. Fun.
The classics.
Well, where do you guys think the video game industry is going to be leading up to? Right? Because from what I heard right now, the biggest.
Grabs.
Well, yeah, of course, but the biggest news right now is that like the new Xbox will kind of work like a PC where you can take out parts and upgrade it as you go along.
So cash grab.
Essentially.
Why not at that point? Just
they're going to give you the shittiest fucking, basically back to Xbox 360. Be like, if you want better graphics, here's a $200 graphics card, and you get to put that bitch right in there yourself.
Well, do you remember the 360 where you press a button like the disc tray would come out? Imagine like that, but you can press that like and like the graphics card pops out and stuff like that, and you can just kind of like click and replace. It's supposed to be streamlined. I'm not sure how much is actually like factual, but I think it's just the idea of like technology is becoming so quick that we're having trouble keeping up with it.
Although,
how long have the PS4's been out? Like 6 years?
Something like that.
8 years maybe? No, maybe 7. I don't know. A long time. And what I'm trying to say is like technology has kind of surpassed them by now. Mm-hmm. Like they're kind of old tech now, technically. So this is an effort of like we release one console, and then we can just continually release new hardware to keep upgrading it. And it's just instead of everyone buys a console 7 years ago, they continuously buy stuff throughout.
That's honestly kind of a cool concept in my opinion. It keeps people from having to drop $500 every 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. To buy a whole new console and you have another console just sitting there collecting dust.
Instead, as it goes, hey, buy this upgrade that's cheaper than, buying a whole ass new console.
Do you guys remember the Red Ring of Death on the Xbox 360?
Yeah, I do.
Hurtful times.
I remember discussing in junior high with my greasy ass friends on like ways to combat it, like weird ways, like unplugging it, waiting 10 seconds, and like
I heard you had to overheat it on purpose.
All the weird tips and tricks that probably didn't work at all.
I had a weird experience. I had my Xbox 360 Red Ring on me as well, and it sucked because whenever I was living at my parents' house, and this was a long time ago before we even had good internet, like Charter or anything like that. So, if I wasn't hardwired into the internet, I couldn't download a thing.
Sure.
Like I could play something maybe, but I couldn't download shit without it taking days. So I brought my Xbox upstairs to download a game because there was a free game for the month, and I plugged it in, turned it on, and there's that red ring.
I feel like I was there for that. That sounds very familiar.
Ended up bringing it downstairs, putting it in a fucking trunk, didn't touch it for months. One day I just got an itch. I was just like, I'm going to turn it on and see if it's still red ring. Turned it on and it was fine.
Wow, really?
No,
you just like put it in the corner.
Yeah.
Think about what you've done.
Out. Yeah, go in this box and think about what you've done.
Yeah, think about what you've done. So what you described there was like a rare time before we had like free unlimited access to the internet. And when you had like hardware issues or like game issues, you're like, well, fuck, who do I ask? You have to like go ask your friends at school for help.
How did you fix this?
Exactly, because like I was.
This was when Charter had just come out with like their 10 megabits, and that was the fucking bee's knees right there.
Sure.
You didn't hear about 10 megabits at all unless it was fucking like government shit.
Yeah. It's fucking insane how fast things have moved like already.
Yeah, and now fucking it's $40 a month for 200 megabits.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
depending on where you're at. I mean, we struggle out here because we're in the country, basically. But I mean, inner city stuff. I'm sure really, really fucking fast Wi-Fi is cheap as hell.
Yeah, I can attest. Yeah,
sure, of course.
Yeah, I mean it's 55 for me, but we can literally have like 5 things connected to the internet running smoothly. Like I could have Spotify playing on my computer, 2 Hulus going, we can both be on our phones, like, and it'd be running fine.
As much as I'm like disenfranchised with like modern society, I really like the internet. And I like playing games on it and watching movies on it and like looking up news.
I feel the same way.
That's like I am super disenfranchised with how things are and how they're going, but like damn, it's
all for it.
Yeah, it's not necessarily all for it. But I think a cool byproduct has been like the free unlimited communication, right?
Yeah.
It is so strange to think about that. This is why I love Twitter. I'm still on it to this day. Like I've given up on Instagram and Snapchat, but this is why I like Twitter. I'll tell you why. The untouchables on Earth you can talk to and they'll respond to you directly. Like if you have a certain actor that you like, you can go talk to them directly. And if you post something that pisses them off enough or sucks their dick enough, they'll talk back to you. So there's nothing that I like more than seeing someone on TV that I don't like, and then I can tweet at them directly under like their latest tweet, and I know they've seen it, kind of thing. Like
because they get a notification.
They get a notification, or you see them reply to other tweets in the thread that are sucking them off, and they had to scroll past, right? Or even better, like they block you, so they've seen your shit, went to your profile and blocked you. That's a lot of power to give to the individual man to be able to like, you know what, this certain politician's really pissing me off. I'm gonna go talk to him.
See, and then there's the flip side where you can talk to cool famous people like fucking there's
Jack Black.
Yeah, I follow Mark Hamill on Twitter and he replies to so many things. Like people will literally be like, "Oh, it'd be so cool if Mark Hamill could give me a shout out," and he's just like, "Hey, what's up?"
What's up?
Yeah, and just casually.
You know what's really interesting to me is that people are making so much fucking money off of posting videos on YouTube these days. I have been watching one. I've never been a YouTuber guy, but I've been watching one specific YouTuber, Danny Gonzalez. You know who I'm talking about? Danny Gonzalez?
Nope.
All right, he's like a super sarcastic dude. I mean,
fair enough.
Great. I mean, that's basically why I like watching him. But he just makes fun of all these videos, and he was actually making fun of some like YouTubers, and like some of these YouTubers who have like they may put out videos, but it's the dumbest fucking content ever. Like they're just like screaming
Podcast
for like 10
away.
minutes. Yeah. No, but this is classy compared to some of this shit that he's been reviewing.
Sure.
It is classy. I'm sipping tea and rum out of a wine glass right now.
What's that say? La Chance Vineyards?
Something along those
Yeah,
lines.
that is true. Yeah, you are sipping out of a wine glass. You are very fancy.
Being a classy
Your
lad at the
pinky's
moment.
not out, dude.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Popped it out for those of you who couldn't see at home.
Yeah, but the internet provides like a new medium for people to communicate too. Like that's why internet business is so popular too, because and porn. But besides like brain damaging things, like internet business, you can start a business online and sell T-shirts, and your advertisement powers are so much more available to you. Like you can reach like literally fucking everyone. Like who's not on the internet these days? At least once or twice, like a week, right? Even like the older people that
I
use
want to
like flip
challenge
phones.
somebody to even just not be on the internet for half a week.
Yeah, exactly. And you're gonna find like I need to check my bank account. Oh shit, can't do that. Gotta connect to the internet.
Guess what? I didn't have internet for like 3 weeks. I wasn't on the internet at all.
Not even data.
Nope.
Damn.
I didn't have any service at my house.
Oh yeah, I forgot you live in the boonies.
Yeah.
No, not anymore.
What did you do?
I just don't have service because I got a shitty fucking phone provider. I literally just sat there, watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, and killed cops on GTA. Like the good Lord intended.
Killed cops, then went home and played GTA.
Exactly.
Oof.
Amen, brother.
I'm not a fan of
We live in a police state.
We
We're not
live
a
in a
fan of
society.
We live in a society.
we do indeed live in a society.
So do you
Shout out
guys...
to Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Joaquin Phoenix. Hopefully you say something about being in a society as the Joker.
That was confirmed, and if it doesn't happen, we're gonna have a problem, Joaquin.
He said it close to the mic, so you know it's true.
Yeah, you know he's serious when he leans in and talks inside the microphone.
You gotta get real quiet and serious.
I like chicken nuggets.
I said serious.
Yeah. I said seriously. So besides that, looping back to like the Disney movie monopoly, how long do you think, how much more extreme is the monopoly going to get, you think?
They're gonna end up buying everything out.
You think you'll go to the movie
I think-
theaters?
You know,
and-
Disney
I
has
think-
a Disney Plus now. They have a.
I saw that, yeah.
I think the only companies that are going to be able to stand up to them are Hulu, Netflix, maybe if Disney's streaming service doesn't take them over.
the U.S. government.
Fuck that. Disney's more powerful. They have more money.
for real.
You're
Pretty
probably
accurate.
right,
We
yeah.
don't have shit. We're in debt.
Technically, they have more money. yeah.
Comcast might still stand up for a little while. They're the guys that control NBC and pretty much all the other companies that they don't.
Sure.
That aren't, Japanese or foreign, something like that. And then, Sony's another big one, obviously, but that's a Japanese company.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thoroughly believe that Disney's just going to consume all American media.
Well, sure. I mean, their monopoly is pretty fucking firm right now. It's getting like scarily big too. Like they're just going left and right.
They
Especially
literally
MCU and
They literally bought Fox.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. That's how they got the rights to do the X-Men stuff like that. That's why they were able to do all this shit. That's why Deadpool's leading into the new X-Men universe that they're going to do. Fox has been bought out by Disney.
Thank you, corporate overlords.
I'm okay with it because they've been making some good ass movies, and if it makes some cool universes, I'm all for it. I don't give a fuck.
Did you guys see that the new Lion King movie?
It's good.
CGI.
It's
remake?
not bad. I don't know why everyone's bitching.
It made like over like $1 billion.
I believe it.
Really?
Well, the point I'm not trying to make is that it was good or bad. I didn't see it, but the point I'm trying to make is that it made like over $1 billion fucking dollars, and it was like 300 million here and like 700 million in China.
We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, exactly. China loves our movies. That's the reason why Transformer movies are going so strong, and that the
I should see China.
Age of Extinction took place in China, like that. Like the second and third act was in China. Like China, they fucking love our movies, dude. Like they eat up Transformers, they eat up The Lion King. Like they love that shit, dude. And there was also another one with like fucking Mark Wahlberg, I think, and it was like in China, and he had like shoot little green goblins on the China wall or something like that. I don't know. Like it was like it's weird stuff, like probing to see like what do the Chinese like, what do they not like, you know, all that weird stuff. So I think the future of movies is actually not even going to be focused towards us. Like Hollywood will be churning out movies for across the pond.
Yeah, I miss original shit like The Fifth Element, stuff like Pulp Fiction. Like Quentin Tarantino is controversial of a director as he is one
kind of a douche, but I like his movies.
One of the only directors that makes original movies anymore.
It's true. Like, it's also weird that he's like mainstream too.
Yeah,
like he's like he played alongside in the theater with like Lion King and Spider-Man, and it was like a Quentin Tarantino movie, which is cool. I'm glad there's somebody out there. Like fuck, I don't even want like good movies. Like I just want movies with like a clear vision, right? Like because usually if there's movies with clear visions, like one director making something that he wants to put on the big screen. At least when you watch it, you're like, it was all right. There's something you can take away from it, right?
Yeah.
But if it's like more like recycled, shoveled, like remakes and everything, it's just you watch and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah, and the thing that I like about Quentin Tarantino,
I remember that song.
He's known very much for his bloody, gory scenes. Like, that is one of the biggest things that he's known for. And then the second thing past that is his dialogue. Dude makes some excellent dialogue. A lot of people hated the movie The Hateful Eight because it steered away from the bloody, gory shit, went more towards dialogue. I fucking loved that movie. From what I saw, I got about 2/3 through it and ended up having to stop because I got to wherever I was going. I was driving to Kansas or some shit like that, but... That movie was fantastic, and I appreciate his stuff. I like Mr. Tarantino.
Yeah, Quentin, if you're listening, we know you are.
Of course.
But
why wouldn't you listen?
You
to
should continue
podcast?
making movies, man. Even if like they don't like do fucking gangbusters every time, or you know you're just trying out wacky ideas. I just like to see like fresh stuff, like a director's vision. I like seeing it. I like seeing what people think and what they might work. Right. I like those clear visions rather than like more remakes. Although I'm sure, I mean, if you're how can I word this? If you're a smart man, you'll let Disney buy you out so you can live as like a king for the rest of your life easy, right? But if you're a dedicated man, you'll avoid that Disney paycheck and you'll continue making movies because you'll be known as like probably one of the better movie makers of your time.
See, that just brings me to, that just makes me start thinking about the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that just came out.
Yeah.
We gotta go see that soon.
Yeah, we should see that. I should go support Quentin Tarantino because I'm not a fan of Disney. They scare me, frankly. We're gonna see like Disney streaming service knock out everybody. We're gonna see Disney take over the movies. We're gonna see like Disney like feed for your baby and everything. It's gonna be like a world of weird Disney products.
Disney tissue.
Disney News.
Great value.
Disney News.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to drive by in the city and see giant water tanks that just say Disney across the side. And if you don't watch the movies enough, they just cut off your water.
Or something.
Yeah, you'll get a letter in the mail with like Mickey Mouse, like the stamp onto the front, right? And you'll read it and like...
See,
you're evicted.
I think, Mr. Johnson, we've seen that you haven't watched our latest Lion King remake. Your water's been shut off for the next 15 days.
If that's how you're going to get... Yeah.
This just occurred to me, though. You know, they're trying to buy out everything and trying to, like, pretty much control media, right? Like, be a monopoly.
Sure, yeah.
What if that was Walt Disney's plan all along, and whenever that happens, they're going to unfreeze his head and put it on a robot, and he's going to become, like, the ruler of America?
Like Futurama style?
Yeah, but, like, just way worse.
I pictured, like, New Vegas. Like the Vegas Strip with like all the robots and stuff, and like
he's like Mr. House pretty much.
Yeah, he's like Mr. House.
I wonder
like
if he was inspired by Walt Disney.
Maybe like all of the Mickey Mouse bots. Like when you don't follow the law, they like break your arms and shit.
They pull out their miniguns and just blast you down if you don't pay the fine to get
Present
inside
identification. present identification as they have you like pinned in like 8 different angles. Basically, they have you bent up like a pretzel. But besides that, Jake has been fantastic. I'm happy to have you on. You've been great.
Awesome.
I hope you had a good time, man.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed myself. I'm just shit. If you need somebody else ever again, just come down here and hang out, or I'll just hang out anyway. We need to hang out.
Yeah, of course. It's been great.
We plan on having repeat guests, I'm sure. So.
Yeah,
we have a pretty big lineup right now, but like once that's kind of done, like the people are like who are like, we need to get on your show. Like we're gonna have repeat guests probably like once a month. So we'll definitely be in touch with that because you've been awesome, man.
Yeah, cool.
So
yeah,
thank you.
I'm glad I got to come on and say a few words on here and talk, shoot the shit.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to let the audience know? Like just of any topic, anything you want to say, any like plugs, whatever. I know it's not gonna do much. We don't got a big audience, but the thought counts.
I mean, not really. I have a quick question.
Sure.
Has he introduced you to Letterkenny?
Yes, I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to know. I was just you were talking about TV, like movies and stuff, and I'm like, man, I don't watch many movies, but I watch a lot of shows. Letterkenny, dude, I introduced this dude to Letterkenny,
Excellent
and
show.
He like shit his pants and jizzed his pants at the same time.
Well, as soon as I saw the opening scene, I'd seen that on a video before, and as soon as I saw the opening scene, I was, I think I even pulled it up and I saw the thumbnail, and I was like, yep, watching it.
Yup.
So your plug's gonna be for Letterkenny?
Yeah, that'll be it. That'll be
Check it out. It's fucking hilarious.
Check out Letterkenny.
It's Canadian.
My job right now to myself is to get everybody in the world to watch this, man.
Well, yeah, it's been great. I've had a good time. My name's Logan.
I'm Sam.
I'm Jake Blank.
This has been Podcast Away. We'll see you next time.